welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're somebody who's a frequent flyer. I talk about random things that pop into my head, and you don't have to agree with what I say, but I do ask that you keep your comments polite in the comment section. So there's a YouTuber that I don't know her personally. Her name is Eugenia Cooney, and I've known about her for a while, but I don't follow her or anything. And recently, videos have been popping up in my feed, not her videos, but people commenting on their videos about her. So if you don't know her, she started as a teenager. She was very thin even as a teenager, and she's extremely she looks very unhealthy, the thinness that she is now. And her videos are about makeup and clothes and trends and typical things like that. People that she meets, trips that she takes. She does a cooking video here and there, but there's a lot of people who are very concerned for her right now, and she hasn't posted a video anywhere, not just on YouTube, but on any of the channels in about a year. And so people are kind of wondering if maybe she passed away. So I did just out of curiosity, because if you saw this woman, and she's a woman now, she's not a kid anymore, she's an adult, she's legal. If you did if you saw her, you would wonder that, like, how is this person even alive? Because she's that thin, and I'm not exaggerating. She is the thinnest person I have ever seen in my life. And so I did a search just to find out if maybe she did pass away, and I couldn't find anything that supported that. So I don't know. I guess it's possible that her family could hide something like that, And I don't mean it in a mean way. It's just that maybe they didn't want the world to know that she's not here if she's not. I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying there are ways to keep your information off the internet, okay? But so I made a couple observations. These are my own observations with her, and some of it is things that I've read. So her mom is in some of her videos, and her mom's not thin. So it's her thinness is not because her mom is saying, look, you've got to be skinny to be beautiful. I mean, maybe she is, but it's not in the videos. And visually, her mom is kind of my size, so she's not thin. So it's not an example, is what I'm saying. Her mom's not setting an example of, don't eat. And her mom gets a lot of criticism because she hasn't, quote, done anything to help her daughter. Which, we don't know that because we're only going to see what's posted on the videos. We don't really know that. But there was, somebody had called the police. I'm just going to say the police, the authorities, to go and do a welfare check on Eugenia, and her mom was in it, and they said that she's just naturally thin, but she's healthy. But if you look at her, she does not look healthy. She does not look healthy. She's thinner as an adult than she was as a teenager. But I know that sometimes people lose baby fat after when they get into their 20s. She really didn't have any baby fat to lose to start with. She was a thin person even as a teenager. But I made another observation, and I haven't really heard anybody talk about this. Like, they talk about her voice, because she does have kind of a high-pitched voice, which that could be a front or part of her branding, I guess. Paris Hilton did that too, and then once Paris outgrew that persona that she had, her voice is now a deeper, more mature sounding voice. So it could be that, or it could be just that's how Eugenia sounds when she's kind of hyped up, that her voice goes up a little bit and gets a kind of, a higher pitch. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What my point is that her video topics haven't grown with her. So, when she was doing her try-on videos, her fashion videos, those kind of things when she was a teenager, that hasn't changed to match her level of maturity where she was in her 20s. She still kind of seems teenagery. I don't know how else to explain that. And her topics and the way that she speaks, and you can tell it's still kind of childlike, although she did talk a little bit more about meeting boys and makeouts, mildly, not in detail. She never said anything that would get her in trouble. It was never that bad, never, obscene or anything like that. But some of her clothing did change as far as being a little bit more adult. And she would do things, and I think sometimes I wonder if she did not realize what people were doing. Like, for instance, she'd be on a live feed and somebody would ask her to do like a 180 spin, and she would do it. And I kind of wonder if the person who requested her to do this was maybe mocking her in some way, like, maybe she didn't understand that. But anyway, I guess, it's very sad to see somebody in that condition, because I think she's in denial. I think she definitely has an eating disorder, and she's in denial. And I do hope that she's alive and that somebody can help her. Yeah, I hope something horrible hasn't happened to her, because I guess that's possible. I'm not an expert on eating disorders, and you don't have to be to look at somebody who looks the way she does to know something ain't right, okay? The only other time I've seen people's bodies look the way hers looked is when you see photographs of people getting released from the concentration camps during the Holocaust. That's how thin she is. It's terrible. Terrible. And so, today I'm just wondering, do you know who she is? If you were her mother, would you do something differently from what we see? From what we see, we don't know what's going on when the cameras are off. So, to be fair, I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, because she may be trying to support her daughter in the best way that she can and not wanting to put all their business out there. And I'm just wondering, what would you do if it was your child? I don't know. And she's an adult now, so some things are a little harder to do than they are when you have a minor, as far as getting help for somebody. So, I don't know. I feel bad for her. I think that she's got a sweetheart, but something's just not right.